So welcome to this section of tutorials on how to convert fractions to decimals, how to convert decimals to fractions, and also converting repeating decimals to fractions. We're actually going to split this into two screencasts so you can take your time to have a look at them over and over again. So the first two I'll do in one screencast, and we'll do a separate one for repeating decimals to fractions. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to look at converting fractions to decimals. Now say we have 5/8 as a fraction. The way to think about any fraction when you're converting it is just to remember that it's actually essentially just a division. It's 5 divided by 8. And that will follow through in lots of maths that you do later on as well. So if we do 5 divided by 8, we're going to set that up as a short division. There we go. So it's 5 divided by 8. And obviously we can't divide 8 into 5. So we're going to put a 0 there. And the most important thing is to get 2 decimal points aligned there. We're going to add an extra 0 so that we can now do 8 into 50. Okay? So 8 into 50 goes 6 times, with the remainder 2. Now the remainders caused some problems in class before. So what you're actually doing with the remainder is 6 times 8 to give you 48. Then how much more have you got to count on to get back to the number we were trying to divide into? So 48, 49, 50, there's our remainder 2. And we're going to write that just there because we're doing short division, not long division. Obviously we can't do 8 into 2, so we're going to put another 0. So 8 into 20 goes 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. So 16, trying to get back up to 20. That gives us a remainder 4. Again, we can't do 8 into 4, so we're going to do 8 into 40. And that goes 5 times, and there's 0 remainders because 5 times 8 is 40. So 5 over 8 converted to a decimal, or 5/8 converted to a decimal, is 0.625. Now, if we were dealing with a mixed number, say it was 2 and 5/8, sorry. If it was 2 and 5/8, all we need to do is bring the 2 in front, and the 5/8 we could do by short division. So it's 2.625, because what you're saying is, with a mixed number, this is 2 units, 2 whole numbers. So there it is. And then our 5/8 we deal through short division, and we're left with 625. So that's fractions to decimals. On the Nearpod classroom, there will be some exercises for you to work through for revision. Let's move on to converting decimals to fractions. So here we've got the decimal 0.45. And please note, I don't say 0.45. This isn't a 10, this is a tenths. Okay, this isn't a unit, this is a hundredths. So we're going to call it 0.45. And what we're looking for is, where is the last digit of our decimal? Well, the last digit is here, the 5. And what place value position does that sit? It sits in the hundredths column. So we're going to take that hundredths and we're going to think about that, and that's going to become our denominator of the fraction. So where was the last number? It's in the hundredths column. We put the 100 as our denominator. Then we're going to take the digits from our decimal, 45, and there we've already created a fraction, 45 over 100. Now we're not going to leave it like that, because 45 and 100 have a common factor. We can divide them both by 5, and we end up with 9 over 20. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Okay? What happens if we had 5.45? Well, very similarly as we did with fractions to decimals, the 5 goes on as an integer at the front, and we deal with the decimal 9 over 20. Okay, that's all we're going to do for this screencast. You can practice some of the examples. The next video will be converting repeating decimals to fractions.